There have been tons of new signings and releases for both AEW, WWE, and even TNA. Also one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my life. And more pro wrestling news. Stay tuned for all of that here. Welcome back, everybody, to Screw Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick here. Thanks for joining me on this Friday night. Let's get right into it. Will Hobbs officially has left AEW as his contract expired at midnight on Wednesday, I believe it was. They pre-filmed Collision that's going to be on tomorrow, Saturday. So unfortunately, we probably know the outcome of that tag team match. The trios tag titles likely dropped to Hangman and Jet Speed. That just, is unfortunately what happens when stuff like this happens in pro wrestling. We have Will Hobbs, who is officially confirmed a free agent, and likely it seems like he's going to SmackDown, completely skipping NXT. So, Will Hobbs, he apparently turned down a contract from Tony Khan, and since he's officially, not I guess officially, but since he's rumored to be going to SmackDown, I just hope the best for him. But unfortunately, I personally feel like he'll be hot for 3 months and then not get pushed like the Lucha Bros. Exactly like how Penta debuted. He was on fire early on and then nothing after about 3 months. But then we got some great signings for AEW this week. We've got officially signed Hechicero, Mascara Dorada, and Persephone. 3 great additions to their roster. All 3 of them have been with AEW on weekly shows, pay-per-views, and things like that, but they were never officially signed. The big one, and we'll segue into TNA with this, was the Rascals. The Rascals, all 4 of the Rascals have jumped ship from TNA to AEW, which is a fucking ballsy move if I've ever seen one by Tony Khan. He signed these guys literally and announced it too on Dynamite, literally the night before TNA's AMC debut. Maximum Carnage was a fantastic show. As we saw these matches up here, Kenny Omega returned in a great promo. Chris Statlander and the Babes of Wrath versus the Triangle of Madness was a great match. Darby Allin and Pac went to fucking war, and we saw Darby Allin pick up the victory, and he officially has beaten every single member of the Death Riders. You saw that fun 4-way tag team match for a future world title shot, and a fucking surprise nonetheless on that one. I don't think anybody had, the Don Callis family members winning this. You had the Young Bucks, Gates of Agony, and Jet Speed against Jake something, now going by Jake Doyle, and his partner Mark Davis, and they won. Very surprising. Immediate push for a former TNA wrestler, like I brought up, which I'll get back to in a moment. Then you had that beautiful match, MJF and Bandito, I think was the best match of 2026 early on. I know we're only a little over 2 weeks into the year, but this match showed you how to run a fucking title match for a main event. MJF comes out victorious, but then cuts a promo afterwards saying he knows that Bandito will be world champ one day. He hates to admit it, so then he had to do what he did, and he jumped Bandito. You saw Bandito's partner from Brodito, Brody King, come out to save him. Brilliant work. Both men looked great in this match. MJF is coming off as just a dastardly heel again. Bandito is probably going to be AEW World Heavyweight Champ in 2026. I don't think that was just said to be said. I think that was foreshadowing by MJF. And we're going to see Bandito have a fucking great 2026. This is how you do a weekly show. Unlike now segueing into TNA, I mean, I'm just going to be honest. It seems like AEW signed more people this week than TNA had wrestling in their debut show for AMC. As you see right up here, the ratings for it say it all. On Cage Match at least, but you can go on any social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Tons of people did not like this show. Look at that. There was 3 matches only. They took out a play from the WWE playbook. They're doing the whole less is more bullshit. The only highlight from this show was AJ Styles. That was it. And he kicked off the show, thanking everybody. And then it just went downhill from there. I mean, you had Ditsy Carter. I like to call her Ditsy Carter, Dixie Carter. She came out to a fucking Hulk Hogan level ovation of boos. It was awful. Just a terrible look for TNA's former president. I mean, I thought Raw's first show on Netflix was bad, but then TNA was like, oh, wait a minute, hold my beer. And they put on probably the worst debut pro wrestling show on a new network I have ever seen. I'm not lying. That was worse than the Raw on Netflix from a year ago. It was so damn bad. I mean, the list goes fucking on. Miss OnlyFans Cora Jade came out to no fans as it was fucking quiet when she debuted. I mean, you heard some cheers here and there, but we'll see where that goes for them. I mean, this show was hard to watch. You had, the 6-man tag match. Elijah and the Hardys defeated Order 4. It was slow. It was sluggish. I love the Hardys. They are, one of the GOAT tag teams of all time, but they need to retire. They're so slow in the ring now. They're so stiff because of how many gross bumps they've taken over the years. It was not a good look. Then the worst match of the fucking night. Another thing to complain about TNA. Why in the hell would you have this happen? The TNA Knockouts World Tag Team title match was awful. I'll just say that, right? Not even 10 minutes long for a tag title match. The Elegance brand, which I don't know much about them because I don't watch TNA very often, they beat the Inspiration. I know them. They were the Iconics in WWE. They fucking left the show after this. They left the company. They are now free agents. Why in the hell would you debut your show on a new network, on a new channel, an AMC, and have a match, one of only 3 matches, may I add, include wrestlers that were gone from the company after their match? That is a fucking L if I've ever seen one. And then, the world title match at the end of the show. Mike Santana defeated Frankie Kazarian. I don't know, maybe I'm just used to how damn good AEW title matches are on weekly shows when they have them. Because, like I said a few minutes ago, MJF and Bandito put out a great title match. And it made this Santana and Kazarian match look pitiful. I mean, there was a weird fucking botch at the end where the ref counted 3, but I think it was, Kazarian kicked out after the ref counted 3. They looked confused as fuck. They were beating the shit out of each other after that, trying to, just last second, like, oh, how do we spin this where to show the fans that wasn't supposed to be the finish when I think it was supposed to be the finish. It was clunky at the end. An awful no-sell by Kazarian. Just, the match could have been so much better. I do like to see Santana, win the gold for the second time in his career after going to TNA, as I really did like him when he was in AEW with Ortiz and when they were part of the Inner Circle. And it's a damn shame that we never saw them as tag champs in AEW, but that's long gone in the past. The only redeeming qualities of that show was Santana winning the gold and AJ Styles. Everything else was trash. And then going over the WWE real quick, apparently WrestleVotes and Fightful are reporting WWE has made the decision to reduce ad breaks during Raw from 12 breaks to 10. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Papa H. Thank you so much, Triple L. Thank you so much for taking 2 ad breaks away. Come on. We know where that's going. It's probably just going to lead to a fucking, fill with more ads during the show, or just fucking Jey Uso come out and doing the yeet bullshit that he does with the fans. It's still going to be covered in ads and promos. I will say this. I think that New Era Cat brand should be looking to get sponsored by WWE and Triple H, with how often Triple H says a new era. I mean, again, he's saying that there's going to be a new era on SmackDown. I haven't yet watched it at the time of this recording, but since they're overseas, but I'm sure it's not as great as Triple H is wanting to claim it to be, and certainly not a new era. And then lastly, real quick, CM Punk is apparently going to retire at 50, which only leaves him a few years. I think this is an ongoing issue with WWE's roster being so old for their main event wrestlers that you see weekly on Raw and SmackDown. The ones that are getting the most screen time outside of a few outliers like Braun Breaker and Dominic Mysterio, most are older than 40. And Punk is pushing 50 at this point. And if he's going to retire in a few years, and you got like guys like LA Knight, Randy Orton, all these wrestlers, Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar, John Cena's now gone, and the list just goes on. All of these wrestlers are well into their 40s or pushing 50 like Punk. Where in the hell is WWE going to be in 3 short years' time? Are they going to have enough star power? I don't think so. I mean, you got guys that are already at the top that are a little bit younger than that, but by then, 3 years from now, are going to be right where guys like CM Punk are in terms of age. Like guys like Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Penta. Penta's already 40. They have a huge issue with that, and they need to fix that as soon as possible. That's all I had in this episode of Screw the Script. Let me know down below your thoughts on everything that I covered. The signings for AEW, the departure of Will Hobbs, the departures that TNA was hit with right before their first ever show on AMC. Let me know your thoughts on the WWE stuff I just talked about and anything else that you want to mention in the comments down below. As always, this has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.